When the first time that you did the grounding, do you think that was a little bit more of a placebo effect? Did you feel anything? When you're standing there without your shoes and socks on, just kind of like, woo woo, to use your words, like, did you feel like, okay, this isn't going to do anything? What was your mindset there?
If it's warm enough or sunny enough, and I go out, stand in the garden, and I'm grounding, and doing that at the same time. Obviously, getting early day sunrise if possible, because obviously that helps reset our circadian rhythm, and also obviously the grounding gives you free electrons. Which obviously pair with free radicals or neutralize free radicals, which obviously reduces inflammation in your body and helps with all your energy production and helps your whole body repair as it should do. So, pairing morning light with grounding is actually really incredible. When my friend Luke Story, when we hung out for Paleo FX 2019, first thing he did when he got off the plane in Austin was go to the local hot spring and jump in the hot spring to ground, because in the morning it was amazing. And I was just like, why are you doing this? And he told me a bit about it. He said, go away and read about it, but he said it's non-negotiable for me for resetting my circadian rhythm to a new time zone. Dr. Sachin Panda's work all around circadian rhythm, which is now pretty much mainstream in the health space, not just biohacking, really goes into the reason why these things work synergistically together. So that's the next part of my morning routine.
So people grounding, that, simplifying it, would just be shoes and socks off and standing on the earth and just, absorbing the energy of the ground beneath you.
Yeah. I mean, the first time I heard about it, and I was like, no way am I doing this. Like, no way. It's like woo woo, no chance. And I went away, studied it, read everything I could, spoke to Clint Ober multiple times, who's the guy that did the documentary and read the book, tested it, looked at the studies, looked at live blood analysis of red blood cells after and before grounding, and looked at thermography for inflammation of joints and things like that, and realized that actually, this is something that's so blatantly simple, the most abundant antioxidant known to man, and yet we don't do it because we wear rubber soles and big heels every day in our trainers. So it's amazing how many people actually have success stories around just grounding alone. It's just it's insane, and yet it's right there.
So when you're doing that, when the first time that you did the grounding, do you think that was a little bit more of a placebo effect? Did you feel anything? When you're standing there without your shoes and socks on, just kind of like, woo woo, to use your words, like, did you feel like, okay, this isn't going to do anything? What was your mindset there?
I just thought it looked crazy. I just thought, it was actually two friends of mine. It was actually in the sea in Malibu. They were out standing in the sea in the morning at sunrise. There I was, still rubbing my eyes, trying to wake up after there was a busy road right past our apartment. And they were down there in the sea, and they're like, oh, it just feels so amazing. And I was just like, you guys are absolutely crazy. What is this about? But the thing is you only have to stop and think for a second and imagine being on the beach and with your toes dipped in the water, just feeling that. It has a physiological change in us immediately, just imagining it, let alone doing it. And you can actually measure it in the body. So you can actually use a multimeter to see what your body voltage is with grounding and without grounding. And so you can see that it actually restores the body to homeostasis. And that is actually how we evolved without shoes, wearing maybe leather on our feet, which is conductive. So for me, like for instance, if I get really stressed, if I've had a really difficult email or some hound on Instagram trying to knock me down for whatever reason, you feel the pain. All you have to do is get your shoes off, sit in the garden, and it's amazing, like how quickly the world becomes easy again. And people with panic attacks or anxiety or that are stressed, it's really amazing how quickly grounding works. And it's reported by a lot of people of how quickly they feel better. And I do, but I also have the understanding how powerful placebo is, and how powerful our mind is. But even if it is a placebo, the placebo is still the body's own natural way of fixing something. So even if it's a placebo, I'm good with that. But I have measured it. And before I spoke about it anywhere, I've done it to death on my Instagram now, hundreds of posts about it, talked about it so much, so many podcasts and things like that, because it just wasn't discussed. But I didn't until I'd really done it to death.
Yeah, I mean, that it's great to measure, but also you're taking that time for yourself, which rarely do we actually do. And you're putting yourself in that kind of parasympathetic state, and you're just calming yourself down. So, the grounding with just that natural relaxation and the art of doing nothing in that moment is so good for you, and visualization and mindset. And even now, yeah, they found that you can add more muscle tissue just thinking about it growing before you're actually doing that working set. So there's all these sort of different things. So placebo or not, like, you feel good, like you're kicking ass in life. Keep doing that. I think people just sort of get caught up and try having to find these numbers. If you feel good at it, why are you changing what you're doing? So, to your point, but you're able to measure that. So that's interesting.